crowd, you know, there's something to cheer for here. They've got well-known names, they've got storied names in Counter-Strike. They mentioned Twist, of course, on the desk. He's played on so many teams in the past, with some legendary names that I'll mention a little bit later. But yeah, it's going to be very difficult for them to do anything. However, the only time we've seen Complexity play Dust2 lately was, of course, against Liquid, and they lost that 113-6 in Dallas, and that did not go well for them, and already the fights are going back and forth.
Yeah, they're not wasting any time here trying to get themselves into Dust2. Just straight up middle they go. Gunfights being taken across the board. And have a look at how Holzek's repositioning. This is so smart from him. He knows he's dropped that bomb in upper dark, and they're never going to expect the gunfight to come through from here. Holzek is playing this perfectly. Trigger discipline as well. First frag found, but he can't get the second. Bowden down versus Elige 1v1. Time is no problem here. It's just going to be straight up onto the gunfight, and Bowden will tap him down with the P250.
That is the start I wanted to see from Alliance. I was talking about that game that Complexity played against Liquid in Dallas. That was a very, very poor game for Complexity, and the only chance we've had a chance to see them on Dust2. 13-6, Liquid won that one, and Alliance, well, I think it's the best map they could have possibly gotten. Alan mentioned it. I think if there's any chance to give us a game, it would be this one, of course. Bodenmaster has been around the grounds in Counter-Strike, many regions he's played in, but it's a great start to his home tournament campaign.
Yeah, Forcebuy going to come through from Complexity after they drop the pistol. It's a nice little setup here and towards lowers between JT and Elige. Two scouts in play here for the T side as well. And Elige's position now made known. So he's going to fall back, kind of leave JT alone, who's forced forward. Very good protocols coming through from Alliance early on here. Good util usage. Not just assuming they're safe because they'd forced the scouts back. The one thing that Alliance have lacked heavily as of late is firepower. They've got a group of solid players across the board, but nobody who's really capable of just taking over the server, and that could be a bit of a problem. On the flip side, Complexity stacked to the gills, relatively speaking, with firepower. You know, someone like Elige, Holzek as well, Grim when he's on form, plenty players who can take over the game.
Yeah, look at Twist. He's throwing his utility from long, but he's about to be dueled, and Grim will swing for it and take it. These are the sort of rounds that Alliance just can't afford to let slip when they are the massive underdogs. You've got to convert these opportunities when you win a great pistol like we saw from Bowden. Avid. Smoke will be broken open, mate. But Elige headshot with a scout. That's two of them in the round. One for Holzek, one for Elige, and Bowden. Oh, he finally finds Elige. He's still full health here. Has to be mentioned. Another chance to clutch for Bodenmaster. It would be two 1v2s in a row. P250 comes out toward Grim, but Floppy's found the Galil. Thing is, he's got no armor. That scout might be a one-hit body shot if he gets into the right position for it. Molotov doesn't really go where he wanted it, I don't think. Bowden, oh, he had the chance, but Floppy will take it.
Yeah, not a bad shot of back-to-back clutches there for Bowden. The fuse eventually going to come through once Floppy realizes he's planted on top of the box. And yeah, what a good force buy coming through from Complexity. The teamwork was really nice as well, how they were pinging contact off of each other. Even though JT went down in lowers, Elige hit some nasty scout shots there. And then I like that 1-2 punch from long as well, playing off of each other. So that teamwork is, yeah, something that Alliance wouldn't be too used to playing against compared to the level that they generally compete at. Certainly going to be a cut above the rest here, our Complexity. And just going back to the conversation of Dust2, I do like the confidence for Complexity to pick it earlier here in the vent. You know, get the rep on Dust2 against a team like Alliance as well. In case that, you know, features again later in the tournament. It's not like that would be the first time that they're playing on this map. So, yeah, I think it is a very good decision for them to head to Dust2 here. Even though Alliance probably are a bit spurred on by that choice, I think Cole have made the right call.
And Alliance choosing to go for the full eco option off the back of that round. That's a great try from Bowden once again. Of course, originated from Little Mix, a team that I covered many, many a time when they plied their trade in those ESL Advanced playoffs, of course, back in the day.
Most Swedes have been featured in that team, right?
Yeah, true. And they went to ATK, of course.
Yeah, naturally. Yeah, played alongside Mistum, another South African. Now he's up against JT, so getting a taste of some Burrowurst.
You can educate me on that, what that means?
It is, it's basically just beef sausage, but you cook it on a braai, like an open fire.
That sounds very South African to me.
Yeah, it is. We love a braai in South Africa, that's for sure.
Gotcha.
All right, well, CT side starts nicely despite the pistol round loss for Complexity. We do get into a gun round. Bodenmaster has that open play, and he's found a tag as well. Yeah, Avid also catches one. He's a player I would like to highlight here for Alliance. He's certainly a lot of a lesser-known prospect, but he has got a lot of potential. Nice burst out towards long coming through from the T side as well, able to gain early control.
Yeah, the damage is significant though. Less than 3 HP, Avid 33. And yeah, you mentioned Avid. I mean, I think we casted him when he played in that mixed team that did incredibly well in the IEM Sydney qualifiers last year. It was a kind of a famous ace that he got against Apex, taken to overtime. We casted that one together, and yeah, it was certainly one of the moments for Avid and put him on the map even further. Now I think it's fair to say that the likes of Nilo have probably overtaken him in that regard as the next big thing from Sweden.
They did beat Metasport out in the Swedish qualifier for this event. Big win for Alliance. And I think that's actually extended their lifeline with this roster, in all honesty, but I'll talk more about that in a moment, because Twist is way ahead of where Complexity were expecting him to be. Just pounces all over that defense on the A bomb side, finds a fantastic double kill. Round is as good as done here. It's just about trying to make sure that they don't lose too many players in the process, and, well, there we go. Complexity will fall back, but that is a point I'd like to make about Alliances. I feel like this team's results have been way below what the org would have been expecting. Once this team was formed, they actually had a pretty good run of form from the get-go, but things have certainly tapered off since then. You know, only just featuring in the top 100 currently on the HLTV rankings. And when you look at an organization like Alliance, it's illustrious, especially from their Dota 2 division. They won TI3, you know, it's a name that is associated with championships. Yeah. And this team hasn't been living up to that expectation. Although I kind of feel like the org has let them remain with this roster to give them a shot at playing at this event on their home ground, having qualified for it, which is, you know, good guys coming from Alliance. But if they don't actually, you know, do some damage at this event, I certainly expect some roster changes for this team. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're right in saying that everyone thought Metasport would be here as the sort of pinnacle of Swedish Counter-Strike at that moment when the Open Qualifier was run, of course. Alliance beat that Johnny Speeds mixed team, of course, with the likes of Draken on it, alongside Chauzy and Letcro, like we mentioned. And unfortunately, in that Östersund LAN they played in this country just about a week ago, they did lose to Johnny Speeds. So, bit of a change up. And that's what we're talking about their form in general, just not being that great, sadly, ever since that qualifier. They even beat out Eyeballers, of course, in that final to make it. And you mentioned Twist as well, of course, and just as kind of a leader in terms of a name, I guess you could say, on this team at least. And, I mean, he's been around for loads of years. I mean, Alan mentioned it on the desk. We can have a little tick off the list, because I wanted to check some of the legendary names that he's played with in the past, right? We've got Fnatic, NIP, and Godsent, of course, he's played in. He's played with Olaf, Forest, Exist, Crims, JW, Pronax, Letcro, and Brolin, and that is not even the full list anywhere close to it. Yeah, I mean, Twist was one of those players in the earlier stages of his career where he probably could have competed at the highest level of the game, but there was always that sort of sentiment that he wanted to play with people he was more familiar with and enjoyed playing with, more so than trying to play for titles, and I guess each to their own, right? Yep, indeed. You're all entitled to make your own decisions. Mm-hmm. But you will be judged by them. Exactly. But there's a chance for Alliance to deliver on this map especially. It's one they actually do play, of course. Veto's a little bit weird, especially in best of threes at the moment, with the fact that not many teams want to go toward Vertigo with the changes, and some teams just aren't comfortable with Dust2 yet, so they're kind of forced into playing Dust2 on a couple of occasions, if of course they have a different permaban they want to keep to. Yeah, it certainly has shaken things up, and it's allowed for teams to kind of close the gap as well. Holzerg, first time he's got the AWP in play, forced off the angle by some good util usage. He will be able to safely fall back. He's going to be playing with Elysia. Elysia is generally the A anchor here, kind of plays CT, and of course, very good at his role. But he's going to have a job to do here in this round. Alliance have got great control towards Catwalk. The question is whether or not they're going to use that control. They could try and fake an A hit from here and then make their way through middle. There's still Twist, who's in upper dark right now, and I think he's going to call for his team to head back in that direction. Yeah, drop down through CT. JT was ready for it. Draws first blood, second as well at his hand, and that certainly will stifle the attack. Yeah, Floppy's still toward the B site. He'll take Twist and Avid.
And Bodenmaster will get deleted by Grim as well. I like what Alliance were going for there. I don't mind the idea, but unfortunately, Complexity were just perfectly set up for it.
Yeah, precisely that. When JT gets those 2 kills off the bat, that just completely ruins the hits at that point. All right, so it is going to be Complexity who regain the lead. This is JT's strong position, able to spot the player dropping down, and then hits an instant headshot on Pleasant as well. Double orb setup in play now. Elige wielding that second sniper rifle. It is just against locks, though, for the most part. So, just about making sure that they keep numbers alive, really.
Yeah, just waste the clock, as you say.
Burn some util.
Yeah, off that CT side, make sure they have to repurchase it. But it is just small silver linings for Alliance. Elige with the secondary AWP firing off. Haven't seen many Elige AWP kills, really, I feel like, over the years. Kind of been picking up a little bit more lately. And especially on Dust2, secondary AWP on CT side it's bordering on meta. I'm seeing it more than any other map, and why not when you've got those long ranges?
Yeah, it makes sense, right? It certainly was how most teams approached the CT side before Dust2 was removed from the map pool a couple of years ago. So, yeah, it makes sense that it does come back into the fray.
And it's also obviously a lot harder to get. MR12,
Yeah.
less money built up, very expensive to try and go for, especially when you have to try and retake. I'll be forced into plenty of saves on occasion, especially if they take B. We know how terrible B is to retake if you're a CT side. You need tunnels presence. If you don't, it's kind of done.
Yeah. There we go, but the orbs rattling off, all 4 frags found so far coming at the hands of the sniper rifles, and Boden will suffer the same fate. So good work between Elige and Holzerk, of course, just against the pistols, but that will set the tone going forward. CT side looking strong. I think when Dust2 came back into the map pool, it kind of looked like it was heavily favoring the T side, but over the past few weeks, it feels like that gap has been closed a little bit.
I actually feel the same way, and weirdly, I mean, don't get me wrong, Dust2, I wasn't a particular enjoyer of it being the map to come back to the pool. I was really hoping for a train for something like that.
You and
But
both.
there we go. But yeah, I think Robin will get legs, sadly, trying to get some long control. But I've been actually pleasantly surprised at some of the entertainment I've got from watching Dust2 of late. I think 9Z's games at Dallas were super, super fun.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's actually improved the entertainment value of Dust2 is the way that CS2 plays, favoring taking fights, favoring being the aggressor kind of thing. So you're not just having players sitting back and holding angles, you get a lot more entertainment in that regard. Holzerk lights up the kill feed, good kill coming through from him, and he's going to be able to get out of dodge. That's a nice decision from him to get out of that position he was locked in on. And Elige kind of picks up where Holzerk left off in terms of his position, but as the dust settles, it is going to be a 3 versus 3.
Twist, again, doing great work on the trade. Well, the trades, plural. Up to 6 kills now for him. Mentioned his experience, mentioned all those names he's played with in the past, of course. A player that I've always enjoyed watching, actually. And those underrated names. But this is his first big opportunity in quite a long while. Bodenmaster will just about be able to get toward the catwalk, but Pleasant, oh, he's super lucky not to get taken down by that nade. 4 HP to spare now, and now 0. Holzerk will catch Twist as he tries to make his way up long, and Complexity now feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, and that was actually one of the more challenging rounds that they've won so far, because they lost long control early, and there was, as you mentioned, the trades that came through as well, but it was a good response from Complexity, just taking control towards short and wrapping around to finish off the job. As we do see now here, Floppy coming through in the back lines, catches the T side in transition, puts Complexity up 5-2. They'll be very happy with the start they've had to the map, considering they lost the pistol.
And of course, Alliance's money is now not in a great place. It's a half buy at most. Maybe they can afford a couple of deagles, but you want to prioritize that next round for sure. And of course, we had the discussion about Holzerk, whether we necessarily agreed with him being re-signed. I think once Complexity announced that there's been a decision, you probably wouldn't say that and then play another event without the decision being re-signing Holzerk, right? That'd be a bit wrong if it was the decision to kick him. And I don't dislike it, and I don't like it either. Kind of nothing the decision.
Yeah, it's like a neutral thing. The thing is, if you say you don't like it, then who do you bring in his place? Because there's not many options out there in terms of free agent AWPers. Of course, All right, mate. Yeah. Okay, just throw that one out there. Why don't you?
I'm kidding,
of course, naturally. Either way, though, Hades was a name that some people have been suggesting as well. Recently benched over in ENCE, of course, but. Yeah, I think it makes sense because he knows the system. He's a part of it. He has got a high ceiling. The word that JT used about 15 times in his interview, consistency, is key. And if he can find a bit more of a stable level, then Complexity will be cooking. Missed shot there means that Alliance will be afforded to cross onto the save bomb side. A plant at the bare minimum is going to come through for them. And now it's about maybe a bit of damage in the post plant.
Yeah, the plant is certainly good. But unfortunately, of course, they've got nothing to recover whatsoever. It's going to make this borderline impossible unless these 1Digs fire off. Complexity taking this one slowly, though, not realizing they do not need to rush in any way. They've got 5 kits across the board, and there we go. Elige even going to the USP, knowing that helmets are not going to be likely in this half-bite. Robin is caught far, far away, and Elige will hit another one with the USP. Bodenmaster is going to decide just to stay alive and play KD. You know what? Why not? It's your big event. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't have been able to affect the situation anyway. 6-2, Complexity, steamrolling Alliance here. Important gun round for Alliance to try and figure out, because if they lose this one as well, then the half has completely gone awry.
Yeah, the double AWP setup seems to be something that Alliance are really struggling with right now.
Yeah, proving to be fruitful for sure, man. Once again, Robin going to be the man committed to long. He does peek just ahead of the smoke, but can't connect on the shot, so he'll pass that back across to Bodenmaster. And you can see the numbers just don't look great on the side of Alliance. You know, top fragger being Twist with 6 kills to his name. Everybody with a negative KD, bar Boden on neutral, but as I was saying, it kind of feels like they lack some sort of a stud player. Someone who can just take the server by the scruff of its neck and kind of just boss the opponents. You've got 5 solid players, but maybe just lacking a bit of stardom. Either way, man advantage for Cole. Looking to try and change things up with some aggression in tunnels, at least holding a deeper angle.
Yeah, it feels like all these players on Alliance have all been, maybe not exactly in terms of roles per se, that I'm trying to make the point here, but they've all been very supportive aspects. They've never ever been the star on any of their previous teams back in the day, like Twist, for example, or Robin, perhaps, because Robin's been around for a very long time. Grim's just completely running headshot Boden there. I
think Arvid might have been the gamble pickup to hope that that could have been that star player they were hoping for.
That was the one.
Hasn't really been able to live up to that expectation just yet. Either way, a good position that Alliance find themselves in, at least relatively speaking, compared to what they've been able to accomplish so far here on the half. Robin is on the bomb side itself, and he will force the gunfight. Oh, the spray's not clean, but the kill comes through. 2 versus 2. Bomb plant going to be found here as well. Wow, Floppy really forcing the issue, charging through the smoke. I appreciate the approach. It's all on Grim now. 1 versus 1, and he'll collect the kill.
Alliance, they had their opportunity, but Complexity will stop them once again. It's so frustrating for Alliance that they finally feel like they can maybe get set in a 2v2 after plant, but Floppy and Grim afford them no extra time on that at all. It maybe looks a little bit crazy there. Floppy diving through that short smoke, but it takes the attention away from Grim coming up very fast on long.
Yeah, not only that, but he knows that there's one player planting the bomb. There's only one other player left alive. He's probably going to use that smoke as a wall to try and cover his teammate from ramp or CT. Floppy trying to get ahead of the game there, goes down, but Grim makes good of it. And that is going to be Complexity continuing to tear ahead. A vital gun round that goes their way.
That shot was disgusting, by the way.
Yeah, it was a neat one. I mean, no ice on that.
I think there has to be at least a tiny bit of RNG that goes into that kill when you're full running. But I'll choose to believe he had a tiny counter strafe.
Well, there is Arvid. Oh my goodness, how does he not get that kill? Should have had Grim dead for all money, but yeah, I guess Grim was always going to die there. The fact that he finds a kill before he does is a pretty good result, actually.
Okay, Boden. How he's managed that. Through the corner of the smoke, he's dumped Elige out of the round. 3v3, a chance to cross past CT, but Hulzuk will catch him. Maybe that smoke not absolutely perfect. Maybe some gaps are being blown in it as well to help out Hulzuk for that frag. Robin and Boden have made their way up into the site, and another plant can come through. That smoke should put that Molotov out, but the JT finding Boden, Robin is very stuck, and there's a long player as well to destroy
Wow.
him. There it is. Floppy takes it very, very quickly, and that's 8 for Complexity.
How many kills did Complexity get through smokes in that round? At least 3, I'm sure.
And Bowden got his through smoke too.
That's, yeah, true. I mean, I know one of them was when the Nate cleared out the smoke, but I think there were a few smoke spams there as well. So that is Complexity now going up 8-2. Holzerk's having a fantastic time of it so far.
And that's been kind of his form. I mean, this is why, I mean, maybe it is a little bit harsh of me in reality to sort of say that I'm very neutral about him re-signing, because he's improved significantly over the course of the year. I feel like he was the main point of contention for a while, and of course, the discussion about the contract came about, and he's kind of improved ever since. He had a fantastic Pro League, of course. It's just that overall, the results for Complexity are not where we've wanted them to be, especially NA fans, when they missed the chance to see them at Dallas in those playoffs.
Looks like a bit of a change of pace here from Complexity, trying to force the issue. But yeah, I'm right there with you. Like I said, I think it's just about the consistency more than anything else. That's what they're looking for from him. And not just from him, but everybody on the team. Elige on the Talking Counter podcast also mentioned that he thinks that Holzer can get in his own mind a little bit too much. If he misses a shot, he then dwells on that instead of just putting it behind him and continuing to try and focus up on what's happening. Either way, job to be done here towards Long. Elige just catches a glimpse of Pleasant's shoulder. Even though he's completely blinded up, no one's able to do anything about it.
And something like that for Holzerk, like you mentioned, that could very easy, like a mental coach could help improve that over time as well.
Psychologist maybe.
Exactly. I mean, very prevalent, of course, in CS these days.
Made famous by Astralis.
Yeah, of course. Bowden's got the Krieg out. I'm afraid it's not 2019, brother, but it's very accurate, of course. Unfortunately, it won't be accurate enough to remove Holzerk from the most overpowered angle with an AWP in Counter-Strike history. If there are no smokes available, you can do nothing about that. Holzerk is now 16-4.
Yeah, give him a round of applause. There's some neat shots being landed by the Norwegian or honorary North American, should I say. Maybe when he chopped the mullet off, not as much. But just going back to talking about Dust2, and it kind of feels like how there's more entertainment value on the map. I think something else that also plays into it is the fact that you can clear out smokes with nades now. So you get B pops into that B bomb site a lot more regularly because you're not just blocked off by a single smoke grenade. Trying to cross long as well is not nearly as safe as it used to be to cross onto the A bomb site. So I think that also does help just improve the entertainment of the map.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the nades blowing up the smokes, it's the main change that has really come to CS2, other than the facelift for the maps, right? And I feel like that has been the most enjoyable thing watching on Dust2, without a shadow of a doubt. And it has made changes to it in terms of how you feel about going for those takes, how you feel about going for CT peaks, like you said as well.
I think also just in terms of how it favors the aggressor CS2, that's another big change up from Go, where you could just have people posted on angles like a turret, where now you get people, you know, like Donk making it a lot more prevalent to try and get aggressive. I know using the anomaly is not a great example, but he certainly is defining the way a lot of people are playing the game at the moment.
Well, let's see if Alliance can define this round. It's a good old-fashioned B rush, but they're going straight into the mixer. JT may be blind, but he knows where to spray. And it's already forced them away from the B tunnel's position. Grim has managed to take one as well. Robin and Bowden are the last two that remain, and they're even blocked off by Molly in mid too.
JT was the first part of the setup there. They didn't even need the second part. Elige tries to finish off the job. He'll get a kill. It's only Robin left.
And he's only got 47 HP. Should be taken down in a split second. There are two players fighting him, and it is business as usual for Complexity at the moment. Double digits on the board at half.
babe, and I gave you all of my heart. If I met you in the middle, babe, would you give me all your love? Would you give me all your love? Could you give me all your love? Could you give me all your love? Come and meet me in the middle, babe, and I'll give you all of my heart. If I meet you in the middle, babe, would you give me all your love? Could you give me all your love? Would you give me all your love?
Complete and utter domination from Complexity. Their second rep on Dust2 is proving to be a successful one. If they win the pistol round, well, I'm not sure the map isn't already as good as done, but it certainly would be at that point.
Yes, Complexity feeling very, very comfortable. We were perhaps treated to how brilliantly close and competitive that Aurora versus Falcons game was, and now we're kind of back into the run-of-the-mill expected results. That's what we saw with Mongols as well. It is a slight contrast indeed. Pleasant will find the first, though, in this pistol for Alliance. It's a long, long way back for the hometown team, but already Elige is down, so chance to work with this pistol. Of course, Bowden clutched out a 1v2 to win the pistol. And now, on the CT side, they're going to have to worry about this mid-play coming through. Pleasant's doing a great job right now of delaying the time and getting a couple of kills because he's lost 2 teammates in that process. Holzerk! Oh, opportunity goes a-begging. Pleasant will finally be found, but it's a 2v2.
Yeah, this was a really difficult pistol round so far from Complexity. The fact that they've reduced this to a 2v2 and gotten the bomb down is actually super impressive. Let's see if they can put the finishing touches. It's Twist and Robin. There is a kip between them, and they're going to try and come through the double door together, but Grim will bury the 9mm bullet in both of their brains. Pistol round done. Floppy is looking ice cold right now, and Complexity, well, I guess business as usual.
Yeah, that's just crosshair placement from Grim. That's all it is. I mentioned, of course, even on a pistol round, needing someone to retake from the tunnel to make things feel a little bit more comfortable. And Grim just puts his crosshair in the perfect spot. They jiggle into that angle and he clicks both heads. It's simple as that.
Looked like the spacing might have been slightly off with the 2 players coming through the doors as well. That first player maybe had to swing a bit wider so the second player could come through with him at the same time. Kind of allowed for Grim to just reset. There is Dr. TC, not Coach TC. He is indeed a qualified doctor. Coach Hawk as well, trying to spur his troops on.
Doctor as in like...
legitimate, like medical doctor.
Medical doctor,
yeah,
not
qualified.
Not like a doctor of science.
No, medical doctor.
Medical doctor.
He has got quite a brain on his shoulders, does Mr. TC. Of course, himself and JT got into the international scene by via Project Destiny. 2018, they went to North America and they were able to show the world what they're capable of. And for those who don't know, Project Destiny 2.0 has just been announced, where they'll be sending a quartet of South African players across to Serbia to try and emulate the successes we saw from the first version. JT and TC still competing at the top, of course, Sonic and Wildcard as well. So just seeing more and more South Africans feature at the higher level of the game will always make my heart happy, Trav.
There's a certain man called Matthew sat next to me right now. Oh, actually stood next to me, who falls into that bracket, I would say.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
They need to be careful, man. Not let too many of us in. We take over. Either way. 11-2. It is going to be Complexity going up against the Force Buy. And Trav, I'd like to get your thoughts here, man. I don't really agree with Alliance's decision to go for the Force Buy in a round like this, because now they're not even guaranteed a single gun round on the half. I think rather give this one up, play the eco, allow for your opponents to get to match point, and then at least have one full gun round.
Yeah, because you feel like you guys haven't played CT side at all.
Yeah.
You want to have at least a chance with the M4s once, but unfortunately, it may be that elimination game where they have the opportunity for the first time.
I mean, how much of a difference is there really between 2-11 and 2-12? Not much, right? You still have a massive comeback to make happen. If you slip up when it was 2-11 on the comeback, you would have slipped up anyway. So, yeah, I think I much prefer seeing teams go for the eco and try play for overtime in a situation like this. But either way, Alliance have crumbled. One of the 2 rounds they've won so far was the pistol.
And that was a 1v2 as well.
Yeah, true.
Remember Halzok pushing up through B tunnels? Like, that one shouldn't have gone their way either.
Something else that we need to highlight as well is the loser of this game has to come back for their elimination match a little bit later on, and that is not going to be a fun task. You know, that means one team from Group B is guaranteed to be eliminated on day one, mate. I mean, not a long trip home for Alliance if it is them, but it would still suck.
Yeah, no, not wrong. Might just be a short trip to bed, to be honest. Like we say in our online games.
Exactly,
like,
not much difference.
They're not going home, they're going to bed. But sadly, maybe the first step to that going home. Unfortunate situation might be coming in a few minutes' time. Maybe even less than that. Lesson with the MP9. Tell Alliance, actually Twist with the MP9 directly behind him. But the Deagle will go down. And there goes Bowden. Avid close with the SMG that I mentioned. Trying to do something with it, and he gets his one.